Now you're going to go to the string that is on the right now, and you're going to span behind. And the reason that you skip is because you leave an opening for the next span. So I spanned into the hole that I just skipped with the last stitch. Okay. And this is still in the starting phase of the caterpillar. You haven't actually started making the caterpillar. This is still just making its head. So you're going to go through behind, you're going to go behind the first stitch on the left, just the first one. I'm going to go behind it, pull it through, and you're pulling it through. Now you see, as I'm creating the head, I'm kind of bringing all of the threads, all the stitches to a point right there. And that's important because that's where your head's going to start. And to finish this stitch, I'm going to skip across. Not go into 5 because that's where the next span's going to come out. I'm going to go through 6. Pardon me. Oh dear, going crazy. So, for the next stitch, you're going to start with the thread that's on the left, and you're going to span across and come out 5, and coming out of the 5th hole on the right is where you're going to start the actual head of the caterpillar. You're going to create the head. Let's see, it's on the coming out of the 5th hole on the right. And to create the head, you're going to go behind the point of all these stitches that I've made. They've made. Ta-da. And you kind of want to keep your last stitch tight. Okay. And to make the head, you're going to go behind it as many times as you want to make it as thick as you want. Oh, come on. It's stuck on the board. And you're going to loop around to tighten it. And as you loop around 3 or 4 times, or however thick your thread is, or however wide apart your stitches are, you're going to wrap around. And this is called packing the thread. So as you're making a head, it's called a horizontal pack because the threads that you're packing go across horizontally, not vertically. Oh, I'm losing track of all my thread. Okay. And when your threads are a nice close distance from each, when your holes are a nice distance apart from each other, then it's generally a pretty small head. And of course, depending on how thick your thread is, if you're using yarn, it's probably going to be a bigger head. And I'm going to call that good, just because. So I've wrapped around that point, creating the head. And to finish that, I'm going to skip across into there. Ta-da! Okay, now you're going to start making the body. And the stitch that you make the body, I'm going to call a cord pack, because you're packing all of the threads basically into a cord. And the cord is going to run along your board and your signatures, and it's going to create the body of the caterpillar. So to start the cord pack, or the body, you're going to go behind the threads in the second space. Okay, so this is the first space, this is the second space. I'm going to go behind all the threads through the second space, if that makes any sense. I'm going through the second space. Okay, and I'm kind of tightening it up there. And you're going to go through this a couple times, depending on your taste and what you want it to look like. You can do as few or as many horizontal packs, cord packs as you like. Vertical packs, sorry. Mixing up my verbology. I like to do 3. I think it is aesthetically pleasing to do 3 cord packs. And as you're doing your cord packs, you kind of want them to line up behind each other. So as I do this cord pack here, I'm going to make sure that it is going to be underneath all of my other ones. It's blurry because my camera is not very good. I'm sorry for that you can't see all these lovely little details. But I'll describe them as best I can to help you when you do your caterpillar stitch, because it is an awesome stitch and not very many people use it, and it makes a very unique accent, and you can use it as a very decorative tool as well. It doesn't have to be in a straight line, and I'll show you that with the book that I made after I've done the demonstration. So to finish that cord pack, I'm going to skip across.